How to groom an anxious dog. Regular grooming is essential to your dog's health and well-being. Unfortunately, it can also cause a lot of anxiety for your pet. No dog owner wants to see their furry friend stressed out or unhappy. If your dog is anxious or resistant to grooming, there are lots of things you can do to make the experience smoother for both of you. Work slowly and remember to incorporate lots of positive reinforcement to help your dog stop dreading its grooming sessions. Method number 1. Reducing stress and anxiety. Tire your dog out with a romp around the backyard before grooming it. Fatigue induces a naturally relaxed state, so getting in a solid play session right before grooming can put your dog in a good mood, lower anxiety, and make it less resistant. If you have an older dog, a nice walk will probably do the trick. For an energetic dog, play a game like fetch to tire out it and put it in a happy state of mind. This can be especially helpful for an energetic puppy that needs a bath. Do this before every grooming session so your dog will start to associate positive experiences with grooming. Approach your dog slowly and speak in a comforting voice. Dogs can pick up subtle cues from their owners, so keep the atmosphere as neutral as possible. When it's time to get down to business, try to transition into grooming slowly. Start by speaking to your dog in a soft, soothing voice and gently petting it. Calmly gather the grooming tools and try to keep the overall vibe as low-key as possible. If your dog gets anxious at the sight of the grooming tools, just keep speaking in a soothing voice. Avoid making any sudden movements and never lunge at your dog to grab it. Tip: grooming an anxious or resistant dog can be frustrating, but avoid scolding your pet or raising your voice. This will only cause your dog to create more negative associations with the grooming process. Allow your dog to smell and see grooming tools before you use them. Dogs are pretty intuitive, so avoid trying to hide the grooming tools from your pet. Instead, lay out the grooming tools and let your dog investigate them. After sniffing and inspecting the tools, your dog is more likely to see them as harmless. If your dog is afraid of the sound the clippers make, try turning them on and just holding them so your dog can adjust to the sound. You may have to do this on a few separate occasions before actually using the tools, especially noisy ones like clippers, if your dog is extremely stressed out. Method number 2. Handling an anxious dog. Touch your dog every day to get it used to being handled. Most dogs have at least one spot where they hate being touched. For instance, lots of dogs dislike being touched on their belly, face, or feet. Start getting your dog used to being touched as early as possible. During a normal petting session, work on touching the dog's problem spots in a slow, non-threatening way. Over time, your dog will get used to your touch and feel less anxious when you have to groom that area. Pat and stroke the problem area with your hand before using a tool. If the problem area is a body part that can be held, like a foot, gently hold the paw in your hand for a few minutes. Speak in a comforting voice during this process until your dog calms down. If your dog doesn't calm down, you may need to work with it a little more outside of grooming until it is comfortable being handled. Keep your movements slow and gentle throughout the process. Try to avoid any sneak attacks with grooming tools. If your dog doesn't see a tool coming, it will startle it and probably create even more anxiety. Instead, move slowly and keep speaking in soothing tones as you approach with the brush, clippers, or whatever tool you're using. Sudden movements can create negative associations with specific grooming tools or cause your dog to feel overwhelmed and possibly even threatened. Method number 3. Streamlining the grooming process. Gather all of your grooming tools and set up a grooming station. Your dog finds comfort in your presence, so you need to be there at all times during the grooming process. Setting up a grooming station beforehand will keep you from having to jump up in the middle of grooming to grab this or that. Make sure everything you need is within arm's reach and ready to use. Go ahead and flip the cap on the dog shampoo bottle so that it's open and ready to go. Anything you can do to streamline the process is helpful. Keep a stack of clean towels close by and pull a trash can near your station. Use high-quality tools and hygiene products made for dogs. Good tools can make all the difference in the world when it comes to a smooth grooming session. Make sure you have sharp scissors and clippers made for dogs so you can remove matted fur quickly and painlessly. Buy the proper brushes for your breed's particular type of fur to make brushing efficient and comfortable for your dog. Always use dog shampoo and other products made for dogs. Never substitute with human products, since these can cause severe allergic reactions. Don't use regular scissors to cut mats out of your dog's fur, they aren't sharp enough. Make sure the grooming environment is comfortable for your dog. Choose a quiet area where you won't be distracted or interrupted. Before bathing your dog, make sure the water is comfortably warm and not too hot. Avoid using cold water, since dogs can get chilled easily, especially smaller dogs. If you normally bathe your dog outside and the weather is cold, set up a bathing area in your garage or bathroom instead.